population needs a voice. Here at the Upper District, we are that voice.
They recognize that their growth and the demands on the local water supply would soon exceed that local supply. And so they recognized then that they had to come up with a plan. And so 60, 70 years ago, the people in San Gabriel Valley is saying, we can't do this all by ourselves. We can't build a pipeline to the Colorado River Aqueduct. And that was the primary impetus to the formation of Upper District.
Well, in order to talk about where this basin would be without the Upper District, you have to go back in time and understand what was going on in this basin back in late 1950s, mid-1950s, all the way into 1960. It didn't take a rocket scientist to realize that we're going to run out of water unless we had an imported water source. That was the insurance that this basin needed in order to be able to tell people this is a place to live.
Without the Upper District, the San Gabriel Valley would not have the water management it has today.
My responsibilities are to make sure that we have the quantity of water that's necessary to fulfill our obligations to 1 million households and provide water, supplemental water, because we receive about 60% of our water from the State Water Project. Upper District receives about 25%. They must supply supplemental water because of our huge groundwater basin. And then we have to make sure that our water is without chemicals. And that's why we formed the Water Quality Authority under our jurisdiction.
The San Gabriel Valley Water Quality Authority was created in the early 1990s. Its formation started, though, in the late 1980s. Upper District was very involved in the creation of the Water Quality Authority. When it was first formed, it was a joint powers authority formed with Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District, San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District, and Three Valleys Municipal Water District. And so they formed an agreement that says, we're going to work on a solution. How do we clean up this contamination that has impacted our groundwater basin? And a few years after that, they realized in order to have the authorities and powers they needed to do that they needed an act of the California legislature. So the California legislature voted and created the Water Quality Authority.
At the beginning of the Water Quality Authority, I would say from 1993 all the way through about 1996, the majority of that time was spent convincing the rest of the water industry that this agency was something that they needed to have in place for the benefit of water policy here in the San Gabriel Valley. People throughout the state look at it as a model for groundwater cleanup. UPA proudly says that the San Gabriel Valley is the most successful groundwater cleanup program in the country.
So my training in biochemistry and molecular biology and my cytogenetics career really helped me to focus on the issues in a scientific way and really delve into them, into the nitty-gritty, the details of the water. The most important issues to me are maintaining a healthy basin and a healthy water system. We get our water from the basin. It's a big gravel pit, basically, which holds all of our water. And if we can't maintain a healthy level of that water, then you're going to turn on your faucet, and guess what? It's not going to show up. One of the things that you really have to pay attention to is how high our water basin is, the level of the water. We measure that through the key well. That's measured by engineers who monitor how high it is. And that's why we import the water and we bring it down through the spreading grounds. And that's why you see all that water when you're driving down the 605. All that water goes to all the homes after it's treated. This water is monitored and by the Water Quality Authority. It is some of the cleanest water in the world. It is the envy of certain areas of the world. And it's very important that we maintain that healthy level.
Watermaster is an entity that has jurisdiction over the basin. It is an arm of the courts. It was founded through adjudication. And basically their jurisdiction is to make sure things are working right. They tell us how much water's in the basin and what the key well is.
The main mission is to provide the water for our customers. It is our purveyors that treat the water and serve it to the customer. We don't have residents that we provide water to, but we do have water agencies and or cities that we provide the water. And then from there on, they take it on further and treat it to provide it to the households or business or industrial.
I believe that one of the proactive measures that the board did was last year when they invested $4 million out of our resources to bring in additional water to replenish the groundwater basin. So I think these are the types of measures that the district is known for.
All your water purveyors are more concerned about having reliable water, and they're willing to cooperate with us and want us to continue to purchase the water.
The more you get involved in this, the more you realize how much effort it takes to bring that water to our basin.
Where does wastewater come from? It comes from when you flush the toilet or take a shower or do the dishes in your sink. It flows down to a wastewater treatment plant. It's treated with great technology, essentially the same technology that nature uses in a stream, with bacteria and aeration and sand filtration to purify water. They accelerate that process in a wastewater treatment plant. And what comes out the end is a very good quality water. While we don't want to drink it without additional treatment, we certainly can irrigate a golf course or a school or a park or an industry, use it for cooling water at an industry. So it's a local resource.
For instance, our big project was with Rose Hills. We were the first, this is the first cemetery that uses reclaimed water from San Jose Creek. And we set the example. And then we went to football fields at high schools, and we have now, most of the district is using recycled water.
So we have several recycled water projects which are going on. And as we move forward and we advance our technology, we are starting to, hopefully, we will get a fully sustainable basin. The more you get involved in this, the more you realize how much effort it takes to bring that water to our basin.
We have learned as we've gone along that those supplies of water are finite. They're not infinite.
Make sure that what we have here is maintained and that the adjudication of the San Gabriel Valley is protected. It's done well by this valley, and it needs to be protected.
It's a huge challenge. There has never been enough water in this area, so we've always had to import it. And you need to always be on top of it. You always need to be paying attention in order to bring that water down.
So it has almost triple in cost to import the water.
California has suffered some of the longest droughts in history, and we need to have a ready, clean, reliable water source for the residents that we serve.
So water is a diminishing resource, and if we don't take care of it, we won't have it.
So the Upper District didn't become a leader just by chance with all these innovations. We have worked with our leaders in Sacramento to educate them of our needs and California's needs. But even within our communities, we have outreach to our elected officials on the city councils, school boards. We have been giving presentations to our local residents and community leaders, as well as participating in a lot of programs that way, just to get the awareness out there, and the community has responded very well.
I think you have to, one of the biggest challenges of any water district is to continue to put the message out and change people's mind about water.
Yeah, the Upper District, as one of its main missions during the early 1990s, was to make conservation a way of life here in the San Gabriel Valley. Conservation was something we needed in this valley, and the Upper District saw that probably before anybody else.
When I first started, conservation was a new concept for most water agencies. It was in the very, very early 90s when most agencies suddenly decided that it was time to have conservation happen as a legitimate field. They didn't know what the goals were. They just knew they were supposed to be doing something of conservation that tended towards water conservation, whatever that meant, and that we needed to create something. A lot of the agencies really weren't sure what exactly should be done. Was it just outreach and public awareness, or was it actual programs that created a tangible water savings? It was very new.
We were able to change the way they saw water. It wasn't just turn on the tap and there it is. They were able to see how it travels, how tenuous our infrastructure was, and especially in the Delta.
And one of our other delightful challenges was conservation. Delightful in the sense, being an educator, I always want something for children, and I have a lot of programs we put together for children and how to make them conserve water. And to be honest with you, our conservation has been a great success. At Met and at Upper District, we've done outstandingly well in conservation.
I think you can look back at our history in terms of the programs that they've implemented. One of the most notable ones, and our long-standing conservation program, is our watershed restoration project. We continue to kind of lead the way and create new programs that are innovative. One that I'm most proud of is the San Gabriel Valley Water Smart City Challenge, where we asked our cities to be our partner in communicating the drought and the water conservation message to all of our residents. We're really the leaders in putting the message out.
We have done good things. Now we want to do great things. We want to be able to say that we don't have to rely on imported water. We can create our own water through recycle and through groundwater.
Those tough drought seasons that California has always experienced. So we're doing a great job in managing that water, not only in good times, but also in bad times.
So as we look back on the system and the structure and the governance that our founders established 60 years ago that served us extremely well for 60 years. As we look to the future, the questions that we have to ask ourselves, is it going to serve us well for the next 60 years? And so we need to start thinking, how do we use those assets that were created by our founders in a different way, recognizing that our patterns of water supply are going to be different.
So the Upper District has to continue to be vigilant as it moves forward in being able to look out 10, 12, 20 years to make sure that what we're doing makes sense. Financially, it needs to make sense, and environmentally, it needs to make sense. And that's where the Upper District is going to have its greatest role as it moves forward.
California still continues to grow in population. Businesses continue to grow. California is now the 5th largest economy in the world. So we need jobs in California. We need those people to have a sustained source of water that will provide not only drinking water, but for manufacturing as well. So this management that we're doing now is for the future as well, for future generations.
Yeah, I would say that the efforts of this district and the stakeholders that we work with, the Water Quality Authority, the Main San Gabriel Basin Water Master, the other municipal water districts that surround us, and the County of Los Angeles, the work's been done here in the San Gabriel Valley is really historic.
I think the future of Upper District remains that we'll continue to be a strong leader, not only in water policy and the legislation, but also in terms of how we communicate to our residents.
I'm extremely proud to work for the Upper District and the difference we're making. It's been quite a ride. And even after I retire, I look forward to seeing what this district does.
So So having served on the Upper District for the last 11 years has been rewarding, but as a personal goal for me is to make sure that my children and their children have a safe, reliable water source. And so it's good to know that the community is learning from the programs that we have provided, and that we will continue to do those in the future.
And we have some exciting projects coming up with recycled water. That's going to hopefully one day, the ultimate goal is to be completely self-sustainable in the San Gabriel Valley.
I say this, we're small but mighty.
If we're successful with our vision, 25 years from now, people will say, boy, those Upper District board members that were in office 25 years ago really had a vision and set us up. That system that they established has served us very, very well over the last 25 years.
Thank you, everyone. We hope that you enjoyed the video. Apologies for the glitches, but in everything as this being our first time at doing a virtual event, we're working that out as we go along. We tried to incorporate as many great memories as we could throughout it. There was a lot that, that was interviewed throughout the process. So I want to thank the directors for being a part of that, and our former directors and former GMs that also took part in that. At this time, I would like to call upon a couple of special guests that are joining us this morning. I'd first like to bring up Senator Susan Rubio. Senator Rubio represents the 22nd Senate District that includes a large portion of Upper District service area. Senator Rubio was elected in 2018 and has worked tirelessly to champion the many issues that affect the San Gabriel Valley, including our regional water priorities. We are honored to have her here with us today. Please welcome Senator Rubio.
Thank you, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good morning. I couldn't be more proud to be here today to join you and congratulate you on the 60 years. I have such history in the background with this organization, and the video was incredible in terms of highlighting all that you do for our communities, all the programs you have. But I also want to commend the board and the general manager and everyone behind the scenes that sometimes we don't get to see. You do an incredible job, and I have to go back to my teaching days. I was a teacher for 17 years, and the Upper San Gabriel Municipal Water District partnered with me on several occasions to help with fundraisers, to raise funding for our PTA and other important activities. So I want to thank you on a personal note on those efforts. As a council member for the city of Baldwin Park, the relationship continued, trying to ensure that our community was educated in terms of water conservation. And I think I heard Patty CORTEZ mention the programs that you do have in terms of partnering with the City Challenge. And I can't thank you enough. When I was a council member, we did go through a drought. I know we're still not quite out of the woods yet, but we did work together. So that collaboration is so significant when it comes to moving forward. And all the years that the Upper San Gabriel Municipal Water District has put into those relationships. So I know it's about the organization, but I want to take a moment of privilege to go and talk a little bit about the relationships I have built with all the members as well. President Ed Chavez, he'll remember this. The first time I ran in 2005, he was our assembly member at the time. And he was gracious enough to sit down with me and talk to me. And if I remember correctly, he was one of my first endorsements, 2005. So we have quite a history there. He was also an effective legislator at the time. So I want to commend him for his work and still continuing to work and wanting to serve locally. I want to also say hello and commend President Al Contreras. Many people don't know that I served with his wife for 13 years on the dais in the city of Baldwin Park. And so our family's friendship goes back 20 years. Secretary Anthony Fellow, I know we've had many discussions, and I want to congratulate you for being the longest serving member. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's 28 years. And so really thankful for your leadership, and that's commitment. So we have to commend you for wanting to do this job. As we all know, as electeds, sometimes it's not easy. So thank you for that. And we also share the love of literature, education. So there's so much we have in common. I wanted to also say congratulations to Jennifer Santana. I also know that even though the organization has been through so many changes, she is the first female board member. So I wanted to say thank you for breaking those barriers, and I know you're doing tremendously well, so congratulations on that. And also to the general manager and everyone else. So just wanted to say thank you for allowing me to be here. Many of you are personal friends and longtime collaborators. I know that we've collaborated at the legislature level, at the city level, and when I was a teacher. So again, thank you. And please continue to count on us. I know I have my colleague here, Senator Anthony Portantino. I also understand that jointly we've offered a resolution, and I cannot say more than continue to do the incredible work that you've been doing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator. And I appreciate those comments, and I know we'll give the board an opportunity to respond. But I would actually first like to also give an opportunity to Senator Anthony Portantino for joining us this morning. As you know, Senator Portantino represents the 25th Senate District, which also includes a portion of Upper District's service area. And I know he's been a great friend, not only to us as an agency, but also to Director Fellow. So thank you, Senator, for joining us. There you go.
Thank you for having me, and it's good to see my colleague, Senator Rubio. I miss you, Susan. She's also my seatmate. So COVID has put a big separation between us, because prior to COVID, we were right next to each other. Now we're on opposite ends of the floor. So it's good to see you, Susan, and thank you for saying wonderful things and your certain close relationship with Upper San Gabriel Valley. This is a really special. The video was fantastic. Whoever put it together, I learned a lot watching it. So congratulations to Ed, Patty, and the entire board, and Charles and Anthony, and your work to bring water and to the San Gabriel Valley. Your work to be ahead of the curve since you've been created is commendable, and I'm just proud to have a portion of the district in my district that is to wish you happy birthday on your 60th birthday. And as we all know, water is life, and you know, we like to say the San Gabriel Valley is where it all happens in Los Angeles County, and you know, you make that happen for the San Gabriel Valley. So thanks for letting me just say a few positive words and congratulate you on this wonderful birthday celebration.
Thank you, Senator. I'd also like to at this time just open it up to the board. I know some of you are unmuted. If you'd like to say a few words to our electeds before we continue on.
Well, if I could begin, not only having friends like Senator Portantino and Rubio and Assemblywoman Rubio as well, to having not only friends but partners in government that has made our job a lot easier. So I want to thank you personally for what you have done in the past and what we expect in the future. You have represented not only your community well, but you have helped us really champion the issues and water-related issues. So if anybody on the board wish to express any thoughts, may do so now.
Yes, I'd like
Patty,
to.
Patty, may I just say something really quick? I just recognized that I forgot our dear friend, Mr. Trevino. I believe I forgot to say a few words about our friendship. My apologies. Just wanted to say, you know, side note as well, his wife happens to be from Ciudad Juarez, which is where I was born. And so there's a kinship there, and also has been a tremendous leader. And I just wanted to apologize for forgetting you, Mr. Trevino. He's been such a support system, and someone that I go to as well for water issues and advice. So thank you for allowing me to say those words. Really appreciate it.
Dr. Fellow?
Yes, with that, I want to thank Senator Rubio and Senator Portantino for being here today. I'm champions of everything they do and very big supporters. And I thank you for all that you've done for us And we look forward to working with you and others in the future because we have some big plans ahead of us to make sure this is a drought-proof district. So thank you very much.
Any other directors?
So I'd like to also say my thanks to Senator Rubio and Portantino, and getting involved. It really is a collaborative effort, and we would not have come so far without their support. So our success is your success, and thank you very much.
Okay. Directors, any more comments?
I would like to say something, if I may, Mr. President.
Yes.
As I tell my friends here in Los Angeles, I'm very fortunate to be in the other valley, which is the San Gabriel Valley. My friends in Los Angeles always remember the San Fernando Valley, but there is another valley that's much more, I think, meaningful in terms of what happens in LA County, and that is the San Gabriel Valley. I'm really honored to be a part of this. I'm humbled to be a part of this, and I look forward to some great things. We're doing some great things in Metropolitan, a recycled water project, which will have an impact on our imported water needs and reducing that tremendously. We also are working diligently with our producers. So we've got a great future, an exciting future. So I'm very honored and humbled to be a part of it. Thank you, everybody.
Mr. Vice President Contreras.
Thank you. And again, Senator, sorry, I'll pass.
All righty. Patty, do you want to continue?
We have one more speaker before we move on to our elected videos and a showing of the commendations that we've received. I would like to call up Greg Galindo, President of the San Gabriel Valley Water Association, to provide comments on behalf of Upper District's producers. As you know, the producers of the San Gabriel Valley were instrumental in the formation of Upper District and the many changes that followed in the early years, such as their support for Upper District joining MWD, the adjudication of the basin, and even today as the board looks forward towards new initiatives for the region. Please welcome Greg Galindo. I think we need to unmute Greg.
How's that? Better?
There you go.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for giving me a chance to speak. I want to congratulations to the Upper District on your 60th anniversary. Our members of the San Gabriel Valley Water Association, are the cities, the water districts, the mutual water companies, investor-owned utilities, and others. But most of our members are the water purveyors that deliver the retail water purveyors that deliver water to the residents at their homes. And so we understand and we understand the service expectations of those customers. We understand that they expect when they turn their tap on that water's coming out, that it's there and it's safe, and they have no idea of what actually goes on really behind the scenes and how much collaboration, how many different agencies it takes to do that, to be able to make their life so much more easier to deliver that water right to them. So we want to thank you for your leadership over the years. We want to also encourage you to continue that leadership and continue looking to the future to meet, to prudently plan, but also to have that vision to do exactly what was said, which is to try to drought-proof this region. We believe that can be done. And so we're here to work cooperatively with you and to give you feedback on our needs and needs of our customers as well. But again, I just want to thank you for letting me to speak, and congrats to Upper District.
Thank you, Greg, for your remarks and also for the continued support of the association. At this time, I'd like to call up the video that we have where we've put a compilation together of the rest of our delegation that not only wanted to be a part of it and provided us with commendations, But I also want to point out, as Senator Rubio mentioned and Senator Portantino, we did receive a joint legislative resolution containing every member of our state delegation that will be shown during the video. And then we also received a joint resolution from Supervisor Catherine Barger that contained Supervisor Solis and Supervisor Hahn that also represent our division. So at this time, if we can play that video, please.
Hello, this is Congresswoman Grace Napolitano, and I am delighted and very proud to congratulate the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District on its 60th anniversary. I'm so sorry I couldn't join you to celebrate this important milestone today, but I commend the board of directors and all the staff at the Upper District for their leadership and especially for their public service to our San Gabriel Valley. Upper District's conservation programs for residents and businesses, watershed restoration efforts, and Water Smart workshops are world-class programs for preserving our precious water supply. That is why Upper District's innovative conservation programs and community outreach has earned them the U.S. EPA 2020 WaterSense Partner of the Year Award. Congratulations. I thank everybody at the Upper District for their extraordinary contributions and extend my warmest congratulations on your 60th anniversary. God bless you all.
Hello, I'm Congressmember Judy Chu from Pasadena, and I want to congratulate the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District on your 60th anniversary. For 6 decades now, the Upper District has been a leader in water stewardship, conservation, and outreach to ensure quality water for 18 cities and nearly 1 million people. Even as our population has grown and even through an historic drought, your leadership has left our water supply cleaner and more secure. And as your representative in Washington, I've been proud to be your partner in this, including new protections for the San Gabriel Mountains, forests, and rivers. The San Gabriel Mountain River watershed accounts for 80% of our water supply, and that is why, as I fought in Congress for greater protections for the San Gabriel Mountains and forest, I made sure to work with the Upper District throughout the process to ensure our area's needs are met. And you've been leading the way in conservation too, not only through efforts like encouraging recycling and volunteer cleanups, but also by offering rebates for customers who upgrade to water-efficient products like new washing machines and toilets, rain barrels and cisterns, and turf replacement. This work makes such an impact, but it shouldn't be left to you alone. That's why this July, when the House passed H.R. 2, the Invest in America Act, our new infrastructure bill, I was proud that it included my provision to make these rebates tax exempt so that your efforts can be supported on the federal level and more customers will be incentivized to conserve water. So thank you again for 60 years of amazing work, and thank you for ensuring the San Gabriel Valley's quality of water and life remains high.
Good morning. I'm Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio, proudly representing you all in the 48th Assembly District, a district that has been dubbed the Fighting 48 because of the passion and advocacy that is so apparent in our communities. This passion is best exemplified by an organization that I'm to recognize today. On behalf of the great state of California, I want to congratulate the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District on its 60th anniversary and to recognize them for their efforts to improve water conservation. As we stand above the San Gabriel Basin, which holds 1.2 trillion gallons of water across 170 square miles, we begin to see that without community leaders like the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District, this region would not be able to sustain the 2 million residents who rely on this precious resource. Thus, it is my honor to present this joint resolution to the Upper San Gabriel Valley Water District, who have been serving this community for over 60 years. This exemplary service and dedication to the local community and the environment is to be commended. We could not take care of our district without leaders such as yourselves. So as your assemblywoman, I thank you all for your service and dedication to the Fighting 48. Congratulations and best wishes for many more years of success.
Hi, I'm State Senator Anthony Portantino, and I want to congratulate the Upper San Gabriel Valley Water District on its 60th year. Think of all of the people in the San Gabriel Valley that you bring water to, and water's life. Your contributions and what you do has been remarkable and appreciated. Happy birthday on your 60th birthday.
Greetings to everyone at the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District. I am Assembly Member Ed Chow. I represent the 49th Assembly District. Let me begin by extending my congratulations to the district on your 60th anniversary. In fact, for the past 6 decades, you have provided tremendous quality water service to about 1 million people in the region, which has 18 cities, and many of which I do represent in the 49th Assembly District. So on behalf of those residents, let me thank you for your service. You have also integrated yourself into the very fabric of a community. In fact, you have engaged yourself in many community activities. For example, every year you host the Waterfest event, which we have been participating in before the pandemic. You have also sponsored more than 60 students in the Solar Cup Challenge. You have also built partnerships with other parts of the region in watershed conservancy and also restoration. So I want to thank the entire team for your tremendous work, starting with the leaders, of course, Dr. Fellow, we have Ed, we have Jennifer, we have Alfonso, we have Charles, and the entire team. So I want to thank you, and I look forward to working with you. And meanwhile, stay safe. Thanks for having me.
Hi, I'm Supervisor Catherine Barger. Congratulations to the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District for 60 years of committed service. As the San Gabriel Valley has grown, you continue to rise to the challenge and grow with us. Your progress has been remarkable, expanding from humble beginnings to serving nearly 1 million residents. Thank you for your dedication to provide reliable, affordable, quality services to our residents in the San Gabriel Valley. By promoting conservation and educating the public about best practices, we are better informed and equipped to do right by our resources. Over the years, you've fostered wonderful opportunities for our youth to learn about conservation so they grow up and do their part too. For decades, you have cultivated a legacy that sets you apart as a lead environmental steward in the region. You've always thought of creative ways to make us better stewards and improve your operations. Thank you for your commitment to serving our communities and stewarding our water well. I look forward to our ongoing partnership and your continued success in the years to come.
Thank you. I also want to thank the City of San Gabriel, represented by Vice Mayor Chin Ho Liao, and the City of Doherty, represented by Councilmember Liz Riley and Vice Mayor Brian Urias, for honoring us with certificates of recognition from their respective cities. I also want to note all the congratulations that have been coming in through the chat feature, so thank you again. I wish we could give everybody some time, but we want to keep the program moving. So at this time, I would like to call back Tom for the next segment of our program. Can we unmute Tom, please? Tom, you're still on mute.
Thank you. Thank you, Patty. I said some great things. You guys couldn't hear me. Thanks to all the wonderful commendations received from our elected officials. The honor is greatly appreciated, and they will be proudly displayed in our new office, which we hope to occupy less than a year from now. At this point, I do want to call up our board members to share some of their thoughts, but before I do that, we do have a short slideshow of the board members over our history. And Ruben or Patty or Nicole, if you want to pull that up. We might have some technical, with the broad or bandwidth and these Zoom calls, sometimes you do have some technical glitches. But so why don't I go ahead and I want to call on each one of our current board members and ask you a couple of questions if you could reflect on them and let us know your thoughts. And I'll start with our newest Director Santana, as the first woman elected to the Upper District Board. Can you share with us your experience and what interested you in water?
Sure. Yeah, my experience, well, it's been phenomenal. I mean, it's the more, as I said in the video, the more you get involved in it, the more you realize how much effort it really takes to safeguard and make sure that all of the residents of Upper District have safe water. And it's really amazing all the efforts that go in. Tom, what was your other question?
What interested you in water?
What interested me in water? Well, when we first moved to our current residence in the district area, they said that the owner told me, oh, you have a very special place here. You're on a very special well water. And we thought, okay, wow, that's great. And then, as time went on, we hit the drought, and all of a sudden the message of conservation was just all over the place. And really got me thinking and paying attention to why that conservation was necessary and how we get our water. And of course, Upper District is a huge part of that. So that's what initially got me involved and interested in Upper District.
Wonderful. Director Trevino, I've known you for, I'd say, 30 years. But you've certainly had a long career in the water industry, and now as you serve as Upper District's representative to Metropolitan Water District. Can you share what initiatives will be vital for Upper District success in the future?
Yes, Tom, absolutely. I really believe that the Carson project, which is the largest recycle project in the nation, that Metropolitan is rolling out and putting together, the fact that we have a letter of interest in that project, and the fact that that project, when it comes to full fruition, will be able to help us get about 90% of our imported water needs. I think that's a tremendous step forward in the reliability of this basin. I think that's one of the most exciting things that I've had the pleasure of working on. I also had the pleasure of working on Diamond Valley Lake. I was on the board in 99, 2000 with the Metropolitan as an appointee of Central Basin. I had the pleasure of working with a dynamic general manager here at the Upper District in 1984-85, Jane Bray, who really piqued my interest in water. I was working as a government relations representative for Metropolitan. And that's kind of where it started off, in talking to Jane, having lunch and having just conversations on water. It really, she was one of the people that motivated me. The other thing I think is extremely interesting and really it's exciting for me is what we have done on Watermaster with the RDA and being able to store over 100,000 acre feet of water in our basin. Again, increasing reliability and increasing the ability for us to be able to sustain a drought and have water for our residents. This is forward-thinking stuff, and this is exciting stuff. I've had the pleasure of being on the Central Basin Board, but I think the most exciting time has been my tenure on the Upper District Board. So I'm really excited about those things. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you, Director Trevino. Director Contreras, you've had a career in the electric industry, and you've served on, in addition to serving on the Upper District Board, you also served on the Valley County Water District Board. Can you tell us what drew you to getting involved in water?
I was asked many years ago, like 23, 25 years ago, to run because, as you mentioned, in my case, I ran for city council and I lost that race, and I was asked to please run for Valley County Water. And I said, I didn't know anything about water. They said, you're wrong. They're both utilities. You got meters, you have services, you have customers, you build them. So one thing is just wires, and this particular item happens to be pipes. So everything that I did for 20-some years before coming into the water industry, they were all related to one another. So I ran, I was very successful, ran for 3 terms. I worked with Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio as first time ever elected. But I learned a lot, and I brought some of the same basic principles from the electricity to the water. But really, one of the things I wanted to talk about was pretty much the restoration projects that we had, that we worked with the U.S. Forest Service, along with Karen and Esperanza, that working with them, and giving Elena a lot of credit that she definitely deserves working in the restoration projects, because we saw kind of starting out from a little tube to a milk carton to a container and to planning, especially right now with Cogswell Dam being had the fire that we have. We need to start pushing. Hopefully this COVID-19 gets out of the way and start working in that project and bring it back. And as at the very beginning of this video, they mentioned about the adequate water supplies. We're still doing that, and I'm very proud to say we're 60 years into it and going strong. One of my favorite projects that I starting with, it was the water fountains, our filling stations. And the reason why I saw that, I was traveling throughout the whole place, seeing a lot of waste in our water bottles. And I started to recognize filling stations throughout a lot of places, and I realized that we need to do that. Thus bringing less pollution and reducing our waste in the landfill. So thank you, Tom. Thank you, everyone. And happy 60th anniversary.
Thank you, Director Contreras. I'm going to call on our board president next, but I'm going to leave our longest serving board member till last. Director Chavez, you've served on the Upper District Board for 12 years. You've had experience in the California legislature. But in regards to your service on the Upper District Board, can you share with us what agency attribute or accomplishment has made you the most proud? And you don't have to mention hiring your current general manager as one of those.
Okay. Well, thank you, Tom. Yes, it has been a great life, a great career. I'm serving my 33rd year in office. I did serve about 16 years in the state legislature as a staffer and as an elected member as well. But I'll tell you, the Upper District has shown me some great times and some innovation that I'm very proud of. I guess one of the most notable attributes I'm proud of is to say that the district is known for its ability to change and to evolve and to meet the needs of our retailers and our communities. And for me, I hope that the work that we're doing here, along with my colleagues, is one that will leave the agency and, more importantly, our region on a secure, sustainable future. My goal is for future generations will have the security and the safe and reliable water supply, but also possess the knowledge to use that water efficiently. It was here before us, it's going to be here after us, and we need to make sure that happens. So I applaud my colleagues, I applaud our staff, our community for working together as a team. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Chavez. And Dr. Fellow, Director Dr. Fellow. Um, so 28 years, when you finish your current term, it'll be 30 years, longest serving board member in Upper District's history. What continues to drive your passion? I think you'd get tired of this after 30 years, but what continues to drive your passion for the water industry and serving the San Gabriel Valley?
You know, I've been in a number of elected offices as a college trustee and as a city councilman, but there's always something about Upper District that I come back to, and I think it's one of the greatest political bodies that I have served on, because as Senator Portantino said, water is life. And I have a passion for all of our projects. Our watershed restoration project, I want to thank Elena. She got that off the ground many years ago. And that is close to my heart. I think I talked to the board about starting this, where we have young people go up into the Angeles National Forest and help us with reforestation. And we're going to have to do that this year. Our water recycling project is a tremendous effort, and that took a lot. I could spend the rest of the day talking about the hell we went through, because a lot of people didn't want that recycling project. And I recall the times my picture appeared on toilet seats and everything else, people trying to fight that project. But thank God we did it, because we would have had a lot of problems getting through the last drought. And in the future, as I mentioned before, that I'm really interested in children and children knowing about water. And our young people in the San Gabriel Valley have done an outstanding job with conservation. They've gone home and they've talked to their parents about conservation. And I think the audience would be shocked if they knew how much conservation we have done in the San Gabriel Valley. But my next project, you know, Congresswoman Judy Chu has been working on the Angeles National Forest and making it a national monument. And I would like to assist her and have the board assist her. I always wanted a water museum for children. And that's my next big thing to help the San Gabriel Valley. But I think one of the greatest things has been the people. I've worked with some wonderful people. Marv Saichi, who's elected with me. Bob Berlin, one of the greatest men I've ever met. And I miss some of the people, Jane Bray, and it's been a good venture. People are so important, and I've worked with some wonderful people in the water industry, Patty Cortez, Elena, Christy, of course, and I think that's really warms my heart, and I think that's why I continue to want to serve on the Upper San Gabriel Valley Municipal Water District. I never get bored, and it's at one time I said, particularly when we had a board with Frank Forbes and Ken Manning and Marv Saichi and myself, we were so hot and we were doing so much. I said we could run the state of California and do a good job, and I believe that truly. But I thank all of them for the memories, and I have a very big place in my heart for Upper District. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Fellow. I think what we'll do in the interest of time, so we do have a montage video of our past board members. And if we're able to, when we conclude today in a few minutes, we'll try and show that at the end. And also, if I could ask Patty and Ruben to keep the meeting open and maybe open the mics after we've concluded to allow anyone who wants to have a conversation. Perhaps we can do that while we're showing that montage video at the conclusion. And so at this point in time, I'd like to turn it back over to Chairman Chavez for closing remarks.
Thank you. Just to keep it simple, thank everyone for joining us. I know it would have been better if we were all together instead of through a Zoom meeting. I think all of us are probably tired of Zoom meetings, but so thank you for joining us here. I think this is my first Zoom meeting where I actually had to wear a shirt and a tie instead of my pajamas. So that's how important I believe this meeting was to have, and for all of you joining us. We could not have done it without you. I want to again personally thank my colleagues, the staff, our district producers, our cities, which are our important partners, other water agencies within the San Gabriel Valley as well, and just everyone to be here on our 60th anniversary. Hopefully, you could join us at our next 60th anniversary, which will be 120 years. I know Tony will still be here. So with that, thank you for joining us, Patty.
Yeah, thank you.
Patty, if I could, I did forget one thing. I wanted to recognize some former board members who were on this. Director Mike Toohey, it looks like he has left the meeting, but he was on for a period of time. Former Director Brian Urias, and of course, former Director Ken Manning, who served on the board with Director Fellow. Also, former general managers. I don't know if Shane Chapman was able to join us today, but over our history, we've had, of course, our first general manager was Carl Fawcett. The man was incredible. He was general manager of many water agencies simultaneously and very instrumental in the formation of the municipal water districts in Los Angeles County. Jane Bray, I believe, may be the first female general manager within the Metropolitan Water District member agencies, followed by Bob Berlin, Tim Yoakum, and for a brief period, we put an asterisk next to his name, Steve Johnson. His favorite time of his career was serving as interim general manager, and of course, Shane Chapman, my predecessor. And so we've got a great legacy of board members and general managers to live up to. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Tom. So we will go ahead and do that. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. We can't let you go without, of course, giving you some type of upper district swag. So all of the participants on today's Zoom call will be receiving our commemorative anniversary coin. If you didn't already get it with the invite, we will mail one out to everyone that participated today. So thank you again for joining us. So if we can go ahead and roll that, the board montage pictures, and then we can unmute everybody. Those that are willing to stay to have final comments with the directors, you're more than welcome to stay. So thank you.
Thank you, everyone. And all the videos will be posted on our website.
Yes. We can unmute the mics, and if any of the board members want to stay on and chat, you're more than welcome to.
Well, commendations to Patty and her staff. This is just a really tremendous job pulling this off as a virtual celebration. Thank you for all your hard work. I think you deserve a little bit of time now.
Here.
Tom, I'd like, this is Ken. I'd like to just, I want to thank the staff and everybody there at the Upper District. And, you know, from my point of view, having looked back and having been a part of this actually at the very beginning as a kid, watching my dad participate in the Upper District, this has been a nice recap of the last 60 years and the accomplishments. And you know, it's been a great 60 years, but, you know, the next 60 are going to be just as exciting. And lots of things to do here in the San Gabriel Valley to make sure that people have safe, reliable water. So thank you again to staff for putting this together. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and hey, we've still got a lot of people left on the call. So if you'd like to speak, raise your hand. That'll help us kind of have some sort of semblance of organization here. And looks like Shin Ho would like to say something.
Hi, good morning. Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Oh, Maggie, go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. This was really great. It was a wonderful presentation and all the stuff you've done. One of the things as a former teacher, I appreciated on your Water Fest where you were showing the children a cup of chocolate bits and nuts and things, and then you had a drink, you know, a little fizzy drink to show the basin isn't just a lake, otherwise we'd be falling in. You know, it's all the things that are there that are keeping the water there. So I hope you'll keep doing those things. Thank you.
Okay. So good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yeah. Hi. My name is Chen Ho Liao. I'm the San Gabriel Vice Mayor. I was elected in 2013, and I didn't realize, well, California is heading for a serious drought. And I thought, well, I better get involved with water issues. So I'm very involved with Upper District. And I'm so grateful because I witnessed how such a strong leader in our community educate not just the public, but also the elected officials how to conserve water. And I'm especially grateful for all these field trips, educational trips to State Water Project, Bay Delta, and Diamond Valley. All these educational trips, and I can learn so much. But it's my honor and represent the city, and I think we all can work together for the future projects. Especially water is so important. It's not not just for drinking, it's a life. So, but yet I learned it's a very complex issue. So yeah, let's all work together, make sure our water is sustainable. And thank you again for such a great job that you've been doing. Thank you.
Hello, Tom. This is Sandra Armenta. Thank you so much. I'm the mayor of the city of Rosemead, and I want to just thank you and all the directors and Patty for such a great opportunity to participate in your celebration. I know in Rosemead, Charles Trevino does a great job in making sure that our needs are being met. He actually helped in facilitating a water water bottle fill-up station in one of our centers, and let me tell you, it's a great hit. So thank you so much. I know that I could echo many sentiments around all the different districts that all your board members do in making sure that our cities are well taken care of, that we have clean, reliable water. And so thank you so much. Congratulations on your 60th anniversary.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. This is Brian Urias, Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Duarte and former Director of Upper District for Division 5. I just want to, on behalf of the City of Duarte, just congratulate Upper District for their 60th anniversary and for the incredible work this board has done. I want to recognize Director Santana and my longtime friend, Director Tony Fellow, who represent the City of Duarte. Thank you for your tremendous leadership and all the work you've done for the City of Duarte, from the water-filled stations to the drought-tolerant garden and everything you do for the city. Just thank you. Also want to recognize President Ed Chavez for his continued leadership on the board. It was an honor to be part of the Upper District family for 8 years. I miss the board. I miss working with the district, especially with the tremendous staff, Patty Cortez, Elena, and everyone else. Christy, you all continue to do an amazing job. It was a great experience working with you, and I congratulate you for your 60 years. I look forward to working with the board, and also especially with Director-elect Katie Garcia. I know this district is going to continue to make history, so Congratulations, Upper District, and I continue to look forward to working with you. Proud to have been part of the family. Thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Brian, for that. I don't see any other hands raised. We can leave this open for a little while, and everyone can kind of socially chat. Or if anyone else would like to make comments, please feel free to do so. Again, thank you, everyone. You know, we still have 37 participants. They're dropping off now quickly, but a lot of people stayed on, and we had at one point over 60 participants, and that was for most of the presentation. So we really appreciate everyone's participation. Thank you.
Thank you. You know, if I may just mention, we've had two elected officials now mention the water bottle refill station, and this is something that I certainly am very proud of, and I think the board is very proud of. And as we continue to move forward with this program, I remember with this pilot program, coming into it, this was the pilot program. We had a ribbon cutting ceremony at one location in Duarte. And now we have, I believe, 32 installed and 30 more in the works. So this really is, it's an opportunity for us to do something as a district to also promote just how lucky we are that we can put in these water bottle refill stations with the quality of water coming from our basin. So I'm happy to hear that this is a big hit, and that you know, this is a continued program that's going to, hopefully we'll continue to see a lot more of these. Thanks.
Ken, you're spotlighted. Looks. All right, looks like we're wrapping up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.